Rise and shine, everybody. Nate Fakes here. It's an early morning here in Southern California. As you can see, I have my coffee in some kind of really funky cup. I'm not sure exactly where this came from, but hey, it's something new, right? Anyway, yeah, I definitely need the coffee this morning. But yeah, guys, I thought what I'd do today was just have like a quick little chat with you about one thing that I know I've always struggled with as a cartoonist, many times. Even today, sometimes it hits. I think that's natural, but that's discouragement. Like, what do you do? How do you prevent being discouraged with cartooning? You know, you put yourself out there, you submit, you do everything you can, and you just get a bunch of rejection slips or rejection emails these days. And it seems like nothing is working. Nothing seems to, you look around and you see other people's work and it's all like shiny and professional and like they're killing it. They got new books coming out and just doing a world tour, and you're at home like doing your thing and you're like, man, how am I going to make it? Well, I'm just going to tell you like a few things that have helped me along the way. I'll tell you that I don't know how much you know about me, but I'm 39 years old right now. It took me a long time to become a professional cartoonist. I had some professional work done early on, like I was picked up in a few places in my 20s, and I've done some cool things, but I guess that can officially make me a professional, but yet, I still really struggled to make it. And, everyone's journey is going to be different. I don't know what you're after. If you want to be a full-time cartoonist, if you want to just do it for fun, make a little bit of money on the side. The big perspective I've always looked at my whole life is, look, there's other people doing it, so that means I can do it too. These other people that are cartoonists, they don't have a magic wand. They're not like anything crazy special that have, it didn't get handed to them. Every cartoonist I know has gone through a lot of hard work to get syndicated, published, whatever it is. And some of them have had better, bigger breaks than others. There's a little bit of luck involved, I feel, sometimes, especially back when the newspapers were really doing much better than they are now. But you'd have to wait kind of for a spot to open up in a newspaper to get your feature in there. And I know some cartoonists where that kind of happened and it came along at a good time. So anyway, point being said, there's people out there making money off their comics, so that means you can too. Your path is going to be different than mine, than anyone else, but don't get discouraged. You know what? The things that you got to remember, you just got to trust the process. That's kind of the biggest takeaway I hope you get out of this. Trust the process. If you're doing your work, at the end of the day, you feel like you've kind of done everything you can to get yourself out there, to become on that professional level if you want to get there, or just, whatever it is, whatever goals you have. Hopefully, just you're doing the work. It's not just, you can't just sit back on the sidelines and hope it happens. Like a big break's going to come along. Some magic cartoonist fairy is going to come and, wave the wand, and all of a sudden, bam, you're just like a major freaking cartoonist killing it. No, it doesn't happen that way. So trust the process. I've worked, my story is I've worked numerous day jobs my whole life to become a full-time cartoonist. I've done everything from waiting tables to selling cars to doing tech support over the phone to being a personal assistant. I mentioned in my cartooning courses, I used to build barbed wire fences in the middle of Kansas. I have, what else have I done? I've managed a Pizza Hut before. I've delivered pizzas. You name it. I think I've done it. I've had a bazillion day jobs. Not all of them great. In fact, none of them great. But, it took me a while to realize this. Back when I, was doing that, trying to be a full-time cartoonist, I felt sorry for myself. Like, why am I not making it yet? I'm sitting here doing this shitty job and I'm not making it as a cartoonist. Why? What's going on? What is it going to take? And, toward the end, when I've now made it as a full-time cartoonist, my mindset was just different. I learned to trust the process more, realize this is temporary. I'm putting in the work. I'm doing everything I can. Yes, I'm working a crappy day job, but it's paying the bills, which is great. And I looked at it as they're funding my career as a cartoonist. This job that I really just don't like that much. It's actually funding my career. Because with this job, I can do things like put up a website. I can afford to live, have a place, have the internet, the post stuff, and get an iPad Pro. So keep that perspective. Like whatever you're doing, again, I'm not going to put a timeline on anything. It's going to be different for everyone. Some people can actually make it in their, in their teens, late teens, in their 20s. Again, I'm 39 years old. It took me a long time to get to where I'm at. And even now, I still learn things, and I try to just get better and better and try to, add on to what I've already done. So, just keep plugging away, write down your goals, have some ideas where you want to be, put some timelines up, try to hit them. And if you don't get discouraged by that. I've put up timelines I haven't hit, and I just look back at them and figure out, okay, it didn't work this time. What do I have to do this next time? So try to do that. Try to just envision yourself already making it. Like I've always told people I'm a cartoonist, even when I was working these crappy jobs. First and foremost. And then, we get in conversation about, I may mention, I'm also working part-time at this or that. But have the mindset of, I am a professional cartoonist. I am doing great. I'm doing good work. I may not be making a great living at it, but I am a professional cartoonist, and just have that mindset. Envision in your mind exactly what you want, like picture yourself doing it. And if it's realistic, if it's something that is going on, if it's, if you want to be a cartoonist on the planet Jupiter, that might be a little stretch. I'm not sure about that goal. But if it's realistic, and if you see other people doing it, realize you can do it too. I'm not the greatest artist in the world, that's for sure. I'm not the greatest writer in the world. I see other cartoonists that I wish I had those skills to do like certain things they do. And then writing wise too, there's some cartoonists that just write incredibly well. And I'm like, well, I wish I could do that also. But what you got to realize is that's them. You are your own person. You got to, in this industry, they don't want another of what's already being done. They want something new and fresh, unique. And hopefully that's what you can offer. Whoa, I'm knocking over everything over here. It's early. So keep that in mind. I'm not trying to motivate you. I'm not trying to whatever. But I do hope this kind of helps you feel a little better. If you're not where you want to be at yet, don't worry about it. You got to trust the process. A couple things I do too. This may sound cheesy to some, but whatever, I stand by it. I actually meditate in the morning. I don't know if you believe in a higher power or not. I'm not trying to preach to you, but that definitely helps too. Ask questions. If you believe in God, the universe, just trust that there's a higher power out there that can help you out. And again, I don't know what that is, but look into that. Don't take my word for it. Like read some books, try to figure that part out too. And I think I know that helps the process as well. Something else too along the way when you get discouraged, try to make friends in the industry, talk to them. And when I say in the industry too, talk to other cartoonists that are just, starting off brand new, chit chat with them and, get together, put some thoughts together. And it's really nice to hear from other people too that aren't quite there and are trying to get there, or that are there and, are willing to talk to you too. So just, realize you're not alone on this whole journey. And it's not just cartooning where this is kind of the case. I mean, it's almost anything, any profession you want to really get good at or do. There's going to be some bumps in the road. Some things you can go to college for, get that degree, and typically go out and get a job. With cartooning, it's definitely different. You can go to college or not. I went to college, but I didn't major in cartooning. I didn't graduate either, but I did go to college and I majored in art. And I thought communication too. I thought communication would be a good route to go. And but no, I didn't graduate. But I did get a mad internship out of going to college, which is awesome. I will say that. You don't need one of these mad internships to become a cartoonist, but I was one. But quick story, like the day after my internship ended, I remember this specifically. My goal actually going into it was I didn't want to leave New York City. I interned at Mad Magazine in New York when it was there. And the big goal was, I went there from Ohio and I didn't want to leave New York City. I just felt that's where it's at. And what happened was the day after my internship, it was an unpaid internship. So I had to figure out money and everything to get through the whole thing. But at the end of it, the next day I went to a Pizza Hut in Berkeley Heights, New Jersey, and waited tables. Like, I needed money to pay rent. I realized I didn't have any cash left, and I had to do what I had to do. I had no car or anything, so there was a Pizza Hut like kind of across the street. So I'm like, I had a little bit of experience at a Pizza Hut in Kansas and Ohio before. That was actually one of my first jobs, and I like pizza. I mean, that's a perk, right? So I walked over there and applied and got a job, waiting tables, and I was in Jersey for a couple months. And then come October, I'm like, what am I still doing here? And I went back to Ohio. So my big goal that time didn't follow through, or it didn't happen. I didn't end up staying in New York City. I went back to Ohio, and from there I tweaked things. I kept working. I submitted to MAD, and now that I had that connection, I always talk about trying to get some connections with people, and it's always a good thing. I got some pieces picked up in MAD, and I used that, along the way, and put that in my portfolio. And I know that helped, and I just grew off that, and it took forever. And through that whole time, I had a day job for over a decade after my internship. So that goes to show. And when I say day job, it was like, again, very random things. And I went for day jobs that weren't in my industry, and I kind of did that on purpose just so that I had that drive to really get out. I tried to kind of pick some crappy jobs. And thinking back, I don't know if that was a good idea or not, because I'm working. I work in the industry now, and I love it. And I kind of wish I would have started that sooner, maybe. But again, everybody's journey is different. I have some good stories to tell about some of the numerous jobs I've had, and it makes life interesting. I've met a lot of cool people on the way, still friends of mine. So that being said, guys, that's kind of it. I hope I'm not rambling, but that's just kind of my initial thoughts on when you're getting discouraged. Trust the process, work hard, keep at it. Everything happens for a reason, I believe too. And like, if you're not making it right now, there's a reason for that. I have reasons looking back at when, I'm in Los Angeles now, and I can see why I was kind of needed back in Ohio for a while too. That's kind of a weird story, but no, I really felt like I kind of needed to be there for a long time when I was there. So I just trust the process, and I work hard. And if you do the same thing, I truly believe you're going to make it to whatever it is you want to do. If you want to do graphic novels, if you want to do strip cartoons, if there's a market for it, if there's a way to make money off of it or to do it, I know you can do it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'd love to hear like where you're at. What's going through your mind after listening to this? Do you have any struggles? Any what's I wouldn't say holding you back, or like where are you at right now with what you're doing? What do you do when you get discouraged? Do you go to the gym? Do you have that same kind of mindset of like it's going to get better? Leave a comment. I'm pretty good at getting back at them and back at comments and responding, and I love to hear them too. I think it's really interesting to find out what everybody goes through, because I know it's different for everybody. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed my awesome looking cup, purple and green. Again, I don't know where this really came from, but I grabbed it out of the counter and it works. So hey, cheers. Good. Best of luck. And again, if you have any questions, I'd love to hear from you. And by the way, I have that free cartooning course. I mention it every time, but if you haven't jumped on that yet, click the link below, go to it. Totally free. It takes you it's 3 courses, but it's like an hour and a half total. But it has some good tips in there too. So, all right, guys, until next time, I'll talk to you later.